dumb. They think they're poor, and they are, but they are embarrassed about being poor. I spend a lot of time teaching them about what it means to be poor. You didn't make yourself poor. Your mother, it isn't like people got together in the community and said, do we want to be rich or poor? It has a history to it. Even though slavery ended however many years ago, as people in the media often say to us, Jim Crow didn't. We still have not been integrated into American society. People are still talking about it, but a lot would have to happen. And in my opinion, quite humbly, the people who have failed us have been a lot the black elite, whose got doors opened for them because we were on the ground, and they have not fought to bring us in. So that's a class issue, and that's something that also has to be addressed and dealt with. So anyway, I'm doing great work. I love it. I love our community. I love all the rich white people who give us money. I teach them about what it means to be who our kids are and our community is. And this one guy who's just lovely said to me when people were talking about getting evicted, he said, Dr. Fulani, I don't even know how to think about that. Like, what would it mean? I can't imagine somebody putting me out my house. And these kids, the shelters are a wreck, so now their families are living in laundromats after time people leave, whoever runs them, because they have no place else to stay. So I think the poor community has to develop. I think it has to stand up and say to this country in much the same way that we did through Dr. King's movement and other movements, that we're not going to do this way anymore. And we have to win over all kinds of people to support this. There is nothing more to talk about. It's not working, and it's getting worse. And we need to do something. I mean, I'm going to go back and figure out how to organize people who are living in housing to go after de Blasio. This is a disgrace, what he's doing. And I don't care how sugar-coated it is, it's a total and unacceptable disgrace because people are going to be displaced. So I'm looking for people all over the country, including up here. I was thinking the last time I came up here for an event, I was running for president, and Hazel Dukes ran me out of the room.
Oops.
So I was a little sensitive. I said, oh, I wonder if Hazel's going to be, no. Actually, she and I have become, we work together often because both of us support and work with Sharpton from time to time. So, and we also got arrested over the Sean Bell incident together, so we were in the same cell, so I think we sort of worked this out. But anyway, the other thing I just wanted to say, I run another program which is called Operation Conversation Cops and Kids, and I built it after Bell was murdered, and I went to black cops, because I knew a lot of them, because I had been in a lot of demonstrations, and asked them if they would work with me because I wanted to create conversation between cops and kids. So they said yes, and I did this starting in 2006. And then every time I saw Commissioner Kelly, I would give him a report. Now, he, first of all, had never given me permission because I didn't ask for it, but I wanted to bring his attention to this. So I wore him down, and eventually he came both to our center, and then he came to one of the workshops. And in 2011, we signed a partnership agreement with the NYPD to train all of their rookies. And so since then, I've done about 100+ workshops with thousands of cops and thousands of young people in the community. And we did a presentation on the stage at the Apollo twice a year for their graduation. We present the workshop on stage. Otherwise, we do it in local communities. It's phenomenal. Because the cops and kids have a lot in common. One thing is that they're the people in the streets at midnight together. They both, if you ask who causes violence in our community, 50% would say half of the people would say, 50% of the cop would say cops and 50% would say kids. And they're both kind of wild. And we do these workshops and make the kids sit in a circle, cop, kid, cop, kid, cop, kid. And then we create conversations. But before that, they do this stupid skit about something that I make up. And in the process, they see the other laughing. The kids think the cops were created somewhere in the universe to haunt them. This is their purpose, and one could understand that. And the cops think the kids are just bad kids. But they see each other being human, and it's transformative. So I'm going to continue to do this. I'm training other people to do it because I can't respond to all of the things that are going on. I'm still an independent. I'm disappointed in our president. I got him a huge independent vote. We did when he first ran. The second time he wouldn't talk to us. Last week he called the kids in Baltimore thugs. Anyway, I think that's totally inappropriate, but I'll just sit on myself. I think we need to continue to build a political movement that's empowering, and that we have to fight for poor people and organize them, and we need to grow this country. So, I mean, I could go on. Going to Ferguson was interesting. Actually, the state trooper who stepped onto the highway when the protesters were out there. Did you all see him? He's like this big black man who's a state trooper. His name is Captain Ron Johnson. He joined the protesters, and it was so moving because he was a cop who did this. He put his life on the line. So I brought him to New York whenever we did the last thing at the Apollo, the Cops and Kids, and I just went and spent time with him and others in Ferguson. Ferguson is so poor. Chester is so poor. So many places are so poor. And it was worth being there, and I hope that we can bring some of our programs there. So you all should learn all the stuff that I'm doing because it's great. It's working. It's smart. Lots of people are participating. You should all come to my center. We have 3 theaters on 42nd Street. We just did a play somebody did there on Emmett Till that I think closed last weekend. We're working hard, and we have a lot of work to do, and we have a responsibility to our community, especially our young people, because their lives are a wreck, and America has made it so. Thank you. Take questions? Are there questions? Comments? Yes.
I have a question about, do you have a website or do you have the name of your...
It's called the All Stars Project, and I'll give you a card. But it's called, if you put All Stars Project,
Thank you.
You'll find it. Yes.
What can I do to work with you? How can I help you? Help me.
We have lots of volunteers. We have like 400 volunteers or so, and